Oh, I have to say, I'm Joe Collins.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
make sure you
Yeah,
phrase
that's right. That's
everything
right.
like
Like you didn't ask
Yeah.
me. Okay. Hi, my name is Joe Collins. I'm 52 years old and I'm Claire's father.
My name is Catherine Collins. I'm 21 and I'm Claire's older sister.
My name is Jennifer Collins. I just turned 51 and I'm your mom.
I am vaccinated and recently just got my booster, might have been 2 weeks ago.
I am vaccinated. I haven't got the booster yet, but I plan on it.
I am. I got the vax and the booster.
I don't think I was ever hesitant on getting the vaccine. Don't really care what goes in my body.
I was not hesitant to get the vaccine at any point. I think when you hear certain bits of news afterwards of some side effects or some issues, none of that even changed my perspective on getting the vaccine. I was all for it either way.
I was hesitant about getting the vaccine way in the beginning when they were saying, oh, we're going to rush these through and get these vaccines out there. And the word rush from the talking heads made me wonder, like, what protocols are they thinking about skipping? But they didn't come out anywhere near as fast as, of course, they were portraying them to be. So I felt like they were well vetted, like they did their job, and I wasn't worried. The timing is what changed it.
The people that I know who haven't gotten the vaccine, I don't really put too much judgment on them. It hasn't changed my opinion of them.
I have some family members that have not got the vaccine. I can't say it's changed my perspective on who they are because I've known them my whole life. So in some cases, I'm not entirely surprised that they didn't get the vaccine.
Originally, I did have some strong judgments about who would not get vaccinated.
Most of the people that I know who haven't gotten it are in general anti-vaxxers, so it's not a big change.
But family members are not. Anybody not getting the vaccine, it seems curious to me. I don't understand why people wouldn't get it.
It was just an icky feeling to think that about them. So that was one of the things that it's taken me almost 2 years here to really feel like to kind of come around to the understanding that people really are doing the very best they can with where they're at. Even if it looks like they're not doing the best they can, they are. So understanding that has given me the feeling of more grace towards everybody. It's changed a lot.
When it comes to vaccine mandates by certain organizations, could be employers or social organizations or, I don't know, churches, schools, I don't know. I think certain places and organizations, they have rights to put out a mandate.
Businesses have the right to make that decision. I think it gives, peace of mind in employees. So they just have to be willing to put on their big girl panties and say that and not lean on someone else to be the heavy.
Everybody's entitled to their opinion around that stuff. I don't disagree with organizations having mandates.
I think it's important in a workplace. As someone who works in food service, I would not want someone who's not vaccinated breathing on my food.
Given that we're near the 2-year mark, I think I would not have thought that we would be in the pandemic or in this situation for 2 years. I would not have thought that.
I am not at all surprised that it's been 2 years. I read enough about the 1918 flu. I knew full well the pandemics are a 2-year deal. I was surprised that here we are just starting a second 2-year cycle, though. I didn't expect that.
At this point, I've kind of accepted it as being our present and very possible future for a while.
In hindsight, I guess I shouldn't have been surprised that we're going this long into it. Who knows how much longer we're going to go.
If you were to tell me 2 years ago that this is going to go on for 2 years and still be completely unknown, I would be surprised.
If I have to stand on one side of the fence, yes, it feels like 2 years.
When somebody says it's been 2 years, it does make you say, holy crap, it's been 2 years. It hasn't felt that long to me, I guess.
I'm kind of comfortable with it. Makes it easier not to have to go out and tell people an excuse on why I don't want to go out.
I think the past 2 years have definitely had a huge impact. I think everybody has probably had significant growth in the last 2 years. I don't know how anybody could have gotten past without that.
I would say that my views on certain things have changed. I've become a bit more open-minded and hopefully open-hearted on a few situations. Just learning acceptance, I think.
Over these past 2 years, I've gotten to appreciate when you can spend time with family, friends, loved ones. I've gotten to appreciate that more.
My trying to understand others' positions on things, that's definitely changed me. I have a lot less worry. I have less concern. I think I have more compassion for the choices other people make, and I'm completely confident that I can't possibly know why they made those choices. So analyzing it and coming up with a conclusion or a judgment about it, like, doesn't benefit anybody. Certainly not me.
I'm not an avid reader by any means. And over the last 2 years, I've read 2 books, which doesn't sound impressive to most anybody else. But I've read a little bit more. I've done a little bit more online coursework. I've actually gotten involved in an organization that deals with the kind of work I do, the ASCM organization. I'm working on a certification in that. So I do feel like I've, over the course of time, felt like I have time now to do things that are more beneficial for me and my family.
I started crocheting during COVID. Like this hat. Hashtag self-promo, I guess. I don't sell it, but I don't know.
My biggest habit, though, that I think that I've started in the last 2 years is I've made a concerted effort to meditate every morning. And I'm up to about an hour, maybe a little over an hour every morning. And it's made a huge difference for me. I'm just more relaxed about things.
Over these past 2 years, I probably have hit on the theme a couple of times, but I do miss the social times. I miss being able to go and see folks.
I do miss the possibility and ideas of going to music festivals, concerts.
I so miss live music and dancing. That's like getting to go see artists perform is always been my favorite thing.
Something I don't miss, I guess, is seeing people. I've become a lot more content in spending time with myself. But there are times where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a bunch of friends that I could go hang out and do stuff with.
I don't miss the three-ring circus of the White House, the reality show. That was exhausting. And the silver lining to that was I learned not to follow the news. And that's definitely been good for my mentality overall.
I don't miss taking advantage of time to do things. So I am definitely a procrastinator, and I still do procrastinate, but I probably procrastinate less. I don't miss taking for granted that, oh, if I don't go to do something today, I can go to do something tomorrow. Because it is something where if folks aren't showing signs of having the virus and can get together and we can do something, then let's do it. If we can't do it because somebody's been exposed and you have to push things out, So I think I think maybe I took advantage of the fact that we could always go somewhere and do something, and now I appreciate it more.
I think the industry that I'm in, I think there's been a lot of adaptation and a lot of change of mind about what makes a business legitimate as far as manufacturing and sales. So all for the better, right? All the changes, we can all order samples online now. Well, really we could have done that in the 90s, but no, they had their steadfast well, that's not how you conduct business kind of thought about things. So
The best thing that's happened to me today was that I had a cinnamon roll for breakfast.
The best thing that's happened to me today, it's January 2nd, so it's not the 1st of January, but this was a day we were able to get together for breakfast as a family. So we toasted in the new year with breakfast sitting around the dining room table, and it was nice to spend time with my daughters and my wife and talk a little bit about last year and maybe think a little bit about the year ahead, and just to sit and have breakfast.
We had a lovely breakfast that Dad made, and I love watching you do the thing that you love so much and that I get to like play along. Like, that's awesome.
Things that are giving me hope currently are
What? I haven't had that in a long time.
people are more aware of how to be careful. I don't think we're as careful as we were 6 months ago, or at least, as I said, I'm not as careful as I was 6 months ago, maybe. But I do think people are more aware of it. Optimistically, I think there's fewer folks that think it's a what do you call that word when conspiracy. I think there's fewer people that think this is a conspiracy, so that gives me hope, because I think people are believing a bit more in the science and facts of what's going on, so that gives me a bit more hope.
Your generation, sorry, that's a huge thing to throw on you guys, but all these strong young women, and I don't know if you asked this last time, but this is probably the same damn answer, but you guys are impressive. You really are. Your hearts are all in the right place. Like, you're wiser, I think. I think the global awareness that you guys have gotten just based on being here in this time and this place is extraordinary and different than any other generation, because of how technology has shrunk the world for you, right? You know, yes, we've always been aware of these grotesque inequities, all generations, and plenty of generations before mine had to go and do things that they probably would never have chosen to go do.
People exhibit a little bit more patience with each other than they might have in the first 6 months or a year of this, because stress levels were very high. The economy is a little bit better. People are a little bit more aware of the science. People are a little bit safer with their habits. We know what the measurements are. So I do think it's not that living in the pandemic is mainstream, but I think people are more aware of it, and it's not as, the newness of it has worn off. So people have become accustomed to this lifestyle, and they're, again, more patient and appreciative of people, and not as stressed about economy or the pandemic itself. They're more mindful, but not as stressed.
I would say that this has changed me already, but I'd like to see a bit more change in the way I communicate with people.
It's changed everybody. For the better. Hands down, for the better. Even though it feels like we are more divided and, you know, everything's more political, and it's still for the better. We are learning. We are evolving.
The experience of going through these last 2 years, I would like for it to keep me being more mindful of time with friends and family and loved ones. I'd love to always be more mindful of that.
Me personally, yes, it's made me more self-aware, more understanding, more able to give grace. That's more quickly, right? Even if it's still knee-jerk, it comes eventually.
But I do think within my generation, hopefully within my family's generations, we're going to be retaining our mindfulness of time with each other, and not taking things for granted.
I'm looking forward to this year already. You know, I think I'm just optimistic overall. I think that's 2022 makes me feel optimistic.
Yeah, good. I like this. It's nice you're doing this.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything funny. Sorry.
It's okay. Bing bong. That's it.